Hello friends, in previous lectures we have studied about drift velocity, electric field and current density. We established relation between electric field and current density. Now we are going to do some questions on that previous formula E equals to rho Z. We had studied electric field E equals to resistivity into current density. That's the vector form of Ohm's law, and we will do some questions based on this formula. Okay, I'm taking one of the question. Suppose there are two cylinders of equal cross sectional area in this way. That's of equal cross sectional area. There is another cylinder. They are joined end to end. Suppose area of each cross section is we are taking A. Current I is flowing through this conductor. I is given to you in your question. Current passing from conductor number 1 to conductor number 2. That is passing from 1 to 2 in this way. Resistivity of first one is rho 1 and that's of second one is rho 2. Rho 1 and rho 2 are their respective resistivities, and we have to find out the charge accumulated at this boundary. We have to find out the boundary charge, means the charge present at this boundary, accumulated at this boundary. Okay, we have to find out this one. You have understood this question? I hope you have understood. Area of each one is equal, but that's value is not given. I'm taking here A. Current is flowing through this conductor I. The densities are rho 1 and rho 2, and we have to find out charge accumulated at this boundary, this charge. Okay, we are going to find. Know one thing, I is equal, I is same in both conductors because these two conductors are in series. So current will be passing through in this way, same one I. If current is same and cross-sectional area of both conductors is same, in that case we can write down current density J equals to I by A, and that is equal, means we can write down J1 equals to J2 equals to I by A. Current is same because these both conductors or cylinders are in series. Since cross-sectional area is also same, that's why current density is same. Now here we are assuming a particular small cross-section. I'm assuming here that's of area A1, A, that's also area A. I'm taking rho 1, rho 2 here. A. Electric field will be from first to second. So in this way, E1, that will be E2. E1 and E2 both would be in the same direction. Current density at both sections will be also in the same direction from left to right. But here area, vector area will be in this direction and this vector area will be rightward. This vector area will be taken leftward and this is rightward, because you know for closed surface the direction of surface area is always outward. If that is a imagined closed surface, so this area, cross-sectional area, will be leftward and this is rightward, because here leftward is outward, here rightward is outward. So we are taking this one. From Gauss theorem, you know, from Gauss theorem. We can write down E1 dot A plus E2 dot A equals to total charge enclosed Q upon epsilon naught. From Gauss theorem we can write down, because the flux through this surface parallel to this cylinder, for this one surface and this one surface area, flux will be 0, because vector area will be either upward, this is downward, electric field is rightward, parallel, horizontal. So these two sections will not give any flux, only flux will be through this one and this one. For this one E1 dot A, for this one E2 dot A, and this total flux is charge enclosed upon epsilon naught. This is the charge enclosed at this boundary which is to be calculated. But you know, here vector area is making 180 degree with this E1, that's in opposite direction, that's in same direction. So we can write down in a scalar form E1 A with minus sign. I can take this cos 180 degree plus E2 A cos 0 degree equals to Q by epsilon naught. But you know, cos 180 is minus 1. So we can write down here ki E2 minus E1 A equals to Q by epsilon naught. Q by epsilon naught. We can write down this E2 as E equals to rho J. E equals to rho J. So E2 will be rho 2 J. E1 will be rho 1 J. A. This epsilon naught will be put here. Q, required charge at this boundary of junction of these two cylinders. What about J? What about J? You know, I by A. So we can write down here ki rho 2 minus rho 1, J should be also taken common, A epsilon naught Q. Rho 2 minus rho 1, J should be current I upon area A into A epsilon naught is Q. And further we can write down this Q equals to A cancelled out, rho 2 minus rho 1 I epsilon naught. That's answer. That's the answer of this question. Right? I hope you are convenient for this one and that's visible to you. If this one portion is not visible, I am writing above this one. Right? I am writing again this one. What? This one. Q equals to rho 2 minus rho 1 I epsilon naught. Answer. If it's not visible, I'm writing here, and that is. I'm taking another question of same type. Another question of the same type I'm taking. कितना मिनट हो गया? I'm taking another question of same type here based on E equals to rho J formula, means based on Ohm's law. I'm taking a capacitor. Its gap is filled up with two dielectrics of width d1 and d2. That's dielectrics of width d1 and d2. Their permittivities, absolute permittivities are Xi1 and Xi2. Xi1 is absolute permittivity of this first layer and Xi2 of second layer. This is capacitor, and this gap of this gap between these two plates of the capacitor, parallel plate capacitors, is filled up with two layers of dielectrics of different permittivities, Xi1 and Xi2. Their densities are d1 and d2. Their resistivities are ρ1 and ρ2. ρ1 and ρ2. That is connected with the DC source of potential difference V. V is the potential difference of the DC source that is connected between two plates of this parallel plate capacitor, and gap is filled up with these two different dielectrics of these values, resistivity ρ1 and ρ2, permittivities, absolute permittivities Xi1 and Xi2, their thickness are d1 and d2. Suppose here electric field is E1 and that is electric field is E2. E1 will be from left to right, suppose that is positive, that is connected with negative. So E1 and E2 both will be from left to right. Or in the same way, if there is current, this current density will be also from left to right, J1 in this direction, J2 in this direction. These are values. Again, we have to find out the charge density at this boundary. Charge density sigma of at this boundary, extraneous charge density at this boundary. We have to calculate it. Okay. Know one thing. Okay, if V is connected here, we can write down J equals to current I by this cross sectional area. Suppose that is given A, not given, but I'm assuming here A, or so this I by A, and you all know I will be same in first and second both. So J, current density J will be equal for first and second, and we can write down E1 equals to rho J. So E1 ρ1 equals to E2 ρ2, because J1 and J2 both will be equal, because this one portion is in series to this one. So current will be same, surface area for both one will be, cross sectional area for both one is same. So current density will be I by A same, and this equals to E1 ρ1, that's also equal to E2 ρ2. Okay, we can write down. We can take this one E2 as ρ2 by ρ1 E1. We can. Okay, know one thing. If V is the potential difference across these two plates of the capacitor, we can write down V as V1 plus V2. V1 is potential difference across this one layer, and V2 is potential difference, electric potential difference across this layer second. So we can have, they are in series, that's why we can write down the applied potential V, which is given in our question, is equal to V1 plus V2. And you all know this V will be equal to V equals to V1 plus V2, and V1 is E1 D1 plus E2 D2. Electric field into this thickness will give potential difference, and sum of these two will be V. We can write down E1 D1 plus E2. E2 can be substituted by this one value, rho 2 by rho 1 E1 D2. You all know? But E equals to rho j. We can have here E1 is rho 1 j. For E1 we can write down rho 1 j D1 plus rho 2 by rho 1 E, again E1. E1 is rho 1 j D2, and we can have j D1 rho 2 by rho 1, this one rho 1, this rho 1 can be cancelled, and we can have rho 1 D1 plus rho 2 D2 multiplied by j. This potential difference can be written down in this way. Now we are taking these two layers, and we are taking a Gaussian imaginary surface here, that's of area A. Suppose that's layer A1, that's layer A2. Again here E1 will be in this direction, E2 will be again towards right, but A will be here left and here right. Like first question, first example of this video series, A will be leftward and A will be here rightward. Why? Because the direction of outward area will be left for this closed surface, and here at rightward, that's rightward. So we can have ki from Gauss theorem we can have integral epsilon E dot A or dA A, I'm taking dA, equals to charge enclosed Q by epsilon naught. You know, xi permittivity E electric field dot dA will be charge enclosed by epsilon naught. This can be written down here as xi1 E1, here cos theta will be cos 180, that cos 180 is negative, so minus of 1 plus xi2 E2 area equals to Q by epsilon naught. Q is enclosed charge at the boundary. Q is enclosed charge at the boundary. We can write this. Now one thing A should be brought here. xi2 E2 minus xi1 E1. You know this is negative. This is, there is minus sign now. So I am writing here equals to Q by A epsilon naught. Q by A epsilon naught. Q by A is surface charge density. Charge density of extraneous charge at this boundary, that is Q by A. I am taking this one as sigma, which is required for us. So we can have xi2. What about E2? E2 can be written down in terms of E1. Here rho 2 by rho 1 E1 is E2. So rho 2 by rho 1 E1 minus xi1 E1 is sigma by epsilon naught. Okay. we can convert this one into in form of j. We can have here j2 rho 2 by rho 1 minus j1 E1 is sigma by epsilon naught. Sigma by epsilon. May I rub this one? May I rub this one? Again, we can write here j2 rho 2 minus rho 1 minus of j1 E1. What about E1? E equals to rho j. That's rho 1 j is sigma by epsilon naught. Epsilon naught can be written down here also. We can write, and we can put the value of j here in terms of applied potential V. So this sigma is equal to epsilon naught, rho 1 can be multiplied here, j2 rho 2 minus j1 rho 1. If it is multiplied here, for j we can write down we applied j2 rho 2 minus j1 rho 1. For j we can write down v upon potential V upon rho 1 d1 plus rho 2 d2. This way. V upon this one will be j. We have just substituted this value of j here. Rho 1 is multiplied into this one, and we have got this surface charge density of extraneous charge. Charge density of extraneous charge at this boundary. That's our required answer. Sometimes question is asked in the way that what will be condition if sigma at the boundary, means extraneous charge density at the boundary is 0. Sometimes ask condition for this sigma 0. If sigma is 0, which one will be 0? This one will be 0. This one will be 0. I'm just deleting this one. And if sigma is 0, this expression must be 0, and we can write down ki j2 rho 2 equals to j1 rho 1. This is condition for 0 charge density at the boundary. We have taken these two examples. These examples are very famous in very different books at the world level, some Russian and American books. That these questions are available. We will do in next video lecture about resistance, exactly, or resistance. If you want something more explanation or continuous study, you can join my online and offline classes, Kamlesh Pandey classes. Contact number will be given in description box. You can contact Shashank and get admission. That will be at very low cost from any part of the world or India. You can join. Hurry up, time is very short because we will take few students and start that batch. Thank you.